Good morning, paddlers. This is Gary again with another crap paddling video from the California Center for Research on Advanced Paddling. And what we're going to look at here is the timing of leg drive, rotation, and the catch. This comes about from comments made by someone, I think it was Keith, on the Surf Ski Kayak Facebook group. Almost 10,000 members now. Get on that. It's a fantastic forum. And he was saying that I was applying leg drive too early in my stroke. I was wasting it, okay? So what does that look like if the leg drive is too early? I'm going to point this down. Hopefully you can see my legs and the blade. So ideally, you want to save that leg drive for when the blade is at least touching the water, maybe even a little later, and then use that leg drive to rotate your hips and drive your rotation of the upper body. Maybe it should be a little sooner because it may take a while for that force to go through your body. And I think Ivan says the leg drive is a little fraction of a second before the blade hitting the water. But in any case, it looked like I was uncurling too early. So what does that look like? Well, I think it's going to look something like this. You can see I'm starting to drive my leg before the blade is even there. Okay, I'm exaggerating this a little bit. All right, like this. All right, as the blade is coming out, I'm already starting to drive before it's in. Okay, so what instead I want is I want to coordinate that more like this. Now, the way you can do this is, I mean, you can sort of look at it, just try to do it, but what does it mean to try to do it? What are the perceptual goals you can use? And this is one example where I think we can use tactile, the sense of touch perceptual goals. And the thinking is that you feel when the blade is hitting the water. You don't even have to look at it. I mean, it's airtime, and then there's going to be some resistance, and you can definitely feel that. It provides resistance. And you can also feel when your leg is extended. It's hard to feel when it's starting to extend, right? This here, that's hard to feel. But I can feel if this is extended, it's touching something of the bottom. Now, maybe I can imagine some boats may have super flat bottom and you don't want to extend your leg quite all the way, and you shouldn't. It shouldn't be locked out. Maybe in that case, it's not going to touch. You can put something underneath your calf if you wanted to give you tactile feedback. But in this boat, my Nello 520, I usually extend. And Oscar says, you know, you should feel the bottom of the boat, your thighs or your calf muscles. Okay, so I know if this is extended, I haven't done my leg drive yet. I haven't started. If I can feel the bottom of the boat with my extended leg, I haven't started the leg drive yet. So what I'm going to do is keep that feeling until I feel the blade going in. All right? So I'm coordinating. The control variable is the coordination of two tactile sensations. And you can look at the blade going in too. There's really no reason to look at your leg because you can feel it so easily. So this is the idea, is to keep that leg extended until the water goes out, until the blade hits the water. Now, you might want to think of it as a little trick here, is think of your leg being metal and the boat has an electromagnet and it's holding it down, right? And the only way to shut off that magnet is touching the blade in the water, right? So that allows me to remove that. I want to feel that. It's holding my leg down. The only way I can get that leg up, and of course, if I can't get the leg up, I can't drive with the other one, right? So, but the tactile sensation of the extended leg, I think, is easier to keep track of and to control than of the one that's about to become the drive leg, okay? And I think Keith mentioned this too. So there you go. Trying to get the most out of my leg drive and rotation by not doing it too early. Now, it's possible to do it too late. I think that's too late, right? But you can play with that so you have some control, but you want it right like that. Maybe the release should be a tiny bit before, as Ivan says, to allow that force to get around there. But we'll see what this looks like. Okay, now this is my best. And I feel I am delaying it more than I normally would, so I think that's good. By keeping track of those two sensations. So, give that a try. I think that's a nice example of perceptual goals, and in this case, they are real-time perceptions that you have while you're paddling. You don't need a coach for them, although you may want a coach to check to see if it looks good, and maybe you want to advance your leg drive a little bit or delay it, but then control those relationships between those two tactile perceptions. Again, leg is touching, the cockpit is touching the boat, and to release that leg, you got to hit the water. And that should help you delay your rotation, if in fact that's a problem for you, and I think it was a problem for me, and still is a problem for me. So I'll be working on that. Okay, enough about rotation and leg drive. Gary signing off from beautiful Basin D, Marina Del Rey, Mother's Beach ahead of me. Go to crap video. California Center Research on applied, not applied, it's advanced, it's applied too, advanced paddling.